In this next clip, we're going to be visiting the Prince's Chamber, the Robing Room and the Royal Gallery. Now, each one of these rooms are visually very impressive, highlighting traditions and customs that continue to reflect the work of Parliament today. Now, the monarch is the third part of Parliament, the other parts being, of course, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And you can see how the monarchy is represented through these rooms. So let's begin right here in the Prince's Chamber. The Prince's Chamber is a working anteroom that continues on to the House of Lords chamber. Before and during a debate, members can confer in these rooms about the business of the House. Doorkeepers keep a tally of who comes in and who goes out of the room, as well as delivering messages to other members and escorting the Lord Speaker. They can also secure division lobbies during divisions and votes. Now, the Prince's Room was named after a room in the original Westminster Palace, but like much of that palace, it was rebuilt during Queen Victoria's reign after a fire in 1834. Now, around the chamber there are many paintings depicting people and events from the Tudor period, from Henry VII through to Henry VIII and his many wives and Elizabeth I. And right behind me, in the middle of the room, is a statue of Queen Victoria herself. This is the Royal Gallery, and very much like the Prince's Chamber, it's an important working space for members of the House of Lords during sitting periods. Now, it's called the Royal Gallery due to the many paintings and sculptures of the monarchy that line the walls. It's also used for important state occasions, such as addresses by visiting heads of state to Parliament. Examples of those were from President Reagan and President Clinton from the US, President Sarkozy and President Mitterrand from France, and King Juan Carlos of Spain. In the middle of the room are these two huge paintings by Daniel Maclise, each recording important events from the Napoleonic Wars. The death of Nelson depicts that scene on board the Victory, and the fresco opposite shows the Duke of Wellington meeting the Prussian Field Marshal Blucher after their victory over Napoleon in 1815. Now, on state opening, the Queen also uses the Royal Gallery on her way from the Robing Room through into the House of Lords chamber, and it's the Robing Room we're going to visit in the final part of this clip. The Robing Room is used for state occasions and, as the name suggests, it's also used by the Queen when she's preparing for state opening. So this is the room where the Queen puts on her imperial state crown and then proceeds from here into the House of Lords chamber. Now, when the House of Commons was bombed in World War II, the Commons then moved into the House of Lords, and as a knock-on effect, the Lords then began to use the Robing Room in which to sit until the House of Commons was rebuilt and opened up again in May 1951. So the room had to be quickly fitted out for that purpose. So temporary division lobbies, galleries, even a replica woolsack were hastily brought into the room. Now, the paintings around the walls are by William Dyce, and they depict the 5 cardinal virtues: hospitality, generosity, mercy, religion and courtesy. And they're represented here through the legend of King Arthur and his court.
The other films in this series will show you the debating chambers used by the Lords and Commons, parts of the Old Palace, as well as introducing you to the work that Parliament does. We hope you enjoy your tour.